What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Welcome back to another video. Now I want to talk about what's going on with XRP today and show you what's happening in the chart, what I'm really looking at. If I'm looking at buying any more XRP, understand that it won't be outright. It's mainly buying XRP just for leverage trading purposes, short-term leverage trading purposes. Just to be able to make money in the short term while I'm holding the XRP that I'm holding. So always looking for opportunities, short term or long term. But we're going to get into that in this video. I also want to include kind of why crypto's crashing and why crypto's falling a little bit. And bring that into the situation as well, because there's always outside factors. It's not just one position. There's also the entire market. It's actually reacting one way. So if you guys could make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out the links down below for Patreon and for Twitter if you guys are interested. Anything down there does help out. Speaking of links that are down in the description, if you guys want to check out DXRP, feel free to check it out. I've mentioned it in maybe 3 different videos. DXRP is the first DEX built for Ripple's XRP ledger. They had different pre-sale increases that we've seen, and in 10 hours they're going to have another increase. I think from the first time that we talked about it, it was at literally less than a penny, and right now the current price is sitting at about 8 cents. 5.2 million dollars that's raised, 7.5 thousand investors. DXRP is a next generation decentralized exchange powered by the open source XRP ledger. They combine blazing fast transactions, ultra low fees, and deep liquidity to deliver an institutional grade trading experience for everyone, from crypto newcomers to pro traders. So I definitely implore you guys to check it out, give it a look. I will provide all of the links for DXRP down below. But again, they have everything on their website, from partners, from the calculations of profit, depending on where they list, which is 35 cents, even from where the 8 cent level is. It's definitely a significant point from there. I currently have, just to let you guys know, I currently have 23,825 in my possession from buying at less than a penny, and now it's worth about $1,893 at the current price. I only put $200 in here, and it's currently worth $2,000. So, seeing that, absolutely fantastic. But I definitely want to tell you guys to check it out for yourself. The link will be down there at the top of the description, where you guys can get all the information that you want about it. And, join the pre-sale today. They have their white paper, they have their tokenomics and all of that stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. Since we are talking about XRP, it's always great to have different things that tie into it. So XRP's current price is sitting at about $2.88. It's down by 6% in the last day. Volume is also down by 18%. We're seeing it at a $6.4 billion volume day and a $171 billion market cap. It's great to see it kind of at these lower levels, even though I want to see it skyrocket and be able to profit as we move along. I always like to see opportunities before our eyes. If somebody's like, I missed out and it's above $3, I can't, I don't want to invest into it above $3, and now it's below, now it's at $2.88, that gives you the opportunity. If you wanted to leverage trade, it may give you the opportunity. If you see it go from a $3.30 level down to a $2.88 level, you know that there's so much room above it. So leverage trading or buying it outright, you have so much room to even get back to where it was, versus also where the all-time high is and where the new all-time highs will be. We know XRP will be worth a lot, but we're always questioning like what's happening with it. So if I go over to BTCC, because this is the best place to really check it, based on the candlestick charting, the indicators and all of that stuff. If I go over to BTCC, the one thing that I'm looking at is I'm always looking for low levels to kind of bounce off of. And I have different indicators set here. I have a 200 EMA, I have a 50 SMA, I have a 15 SMA. The reason why I have all of those is I'm looking for the short term as well as the long term impact on it and what we could essentially get to at kind of these lowest levels. I always try and zoom out They always say when in doubt, zoom out. But if you zoom out too much, it takes you out of that picture. I don't expect to see a full zoom out to where it's like it's going to get back to 50 cents. I don't expect to see that where I'm looking at the lowest possible point of, $1.60. I'm also looking at levels that are high points. I'm looking at multiple touch points that could be significant, seeing the 260 level or even seeing the 190 level. Is that a possibility to get to? Yeah, obviously it is. But what I'm looking at closer when we zoom in just a little bit, I'm looking at this level, the $2.70 level. That's something that's very significant because one, it's not only a touch point that's here, right? It's also around the 50 moving average, meaning that could be a significant indicator that it bounces off of. So for me, I'm looking for a leverage trade. These cats are like clawing up stuff right now. I think it's their they have a scratch pad or whatever, so it's fine. But as long as it's not the couch, that's all that matters to me. But where we see this at with this candlestick, as well as where the 50 moving average is, it shows you that that could be a significant bounce point. That could be a point to where I leverage trade. That could be a point to where maybe you purchase at. And where it is currently, it's not too far away from that point. So if you wanted to maybe buy into that point at where it is right now at $2.88, even if it does come down to $2.75, right? You still have a lot of wiggle room to see that grow, right? It's not going to fall as much. Like say if you would have bought when it came down here, $3.15 or $3, right? It coming down to here or coming down to there could be a significant loss, which then essentially could make you sell, right? So that's something that I'm always looking at when it comes to my short-term trades, when it comes to my long-term trades. But obviously, it's not really affecting me right now. So I would tell you right now, I'm probably going to put in a buy order of XRP around that $2 and let's say $2.75 level. It might come down maybe a little bit further, but $2.75 level, maybe we'll see a double touch point. There could always be a potential level to where it does hit the $2.60 level or even further, depending on how much negative news that we are seeing there. So that's something that I'm most likely going to put through. Not sure of what leverage it's going to be because I don't know of how far it will come back because, again, crypto is very volatile and may react in certain ways. So it's not something that's 100% confirmed as to what the leverage will be for me. But know that I am going to put in another XRP trade even after gaining what I gained on my last leverage trade for XRP. Now, when it comes to the news, right? Why is crypto crashing? Right. So there are recent reports. You can talk about the things that are happening in August 2025. You got macroeconomic headwinds, fear of rising U.S. inflation, the Federal Reserve cautious stance on interest rate cuts, and a strengthening dollar are making investors risk averse and prompting them to move away from volatile assets like cryptocurrency and towards safer investments, which is very true, right? I mean, I kind of invest into both. I'm always investing into safe investments as well as some of those risky investments just to give me that little bit of a leg up so I can gain more. But most of my money is finding its way to move into more of those consistent markets, even though stock markets are not looking great either. Some positions are, but the stock market is not looking fantastic. I'll tell you that. Regulatory uncertainty, we talked about that. That's been a growing concern for quite some time. But I think there's been kind of large leaps that we've seen for regulation. So I don't know if that's necessarily a big deal. Declining institutional investments, we talk about the ETFs, the Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, the inflows are not as much or experiencing less inflows and maybe even more outflows that come into these ETFs. So that's something that can factor into it. August seasonal weakness. Historically, August has been a challenging month for Bitcoin, often associated with corrections or sideways movement. This seasonal trend, combined with thinner trading volumes during summer breaks, could amplify price movement. And then some technical factors going into the price 118, and just mainly based on support levels and resistance levels. So, not really much. It's more of like a lot of speculation as to why this, is happening. But you kind of needed to see maybe a little bit of a correction, especially in some altcoins like Ethereum that had picked up to higher levels. But XRP, for me at least, right? I'm looking at it with a long term microscope, right? It's not one of those ones where I'm like, I need to see this happen now, and if it doesn't happen now, I need to get out of it. That's not the mindset for me, at least, and it shouldn't be the mindset for most, because it is something that has long-standing utility, so it should be for more of the long term than anything. So I want to know what you guys think about where this stands, where I stand, where XRP is, and if you're looking to make an investment at these low levels, if this is a buy for you as of right now. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Make sure you guys check out my link for DXRP down below at the top of the description. I've been talking about that for probably like 4 different videos, and it honestly is very interesting in the amount of growth that I've experienced. Right, I always try and get people to have these opportunities, but I know it could be um, dicey at times because there are so many opportunities out there. Which ones do you take? So this looks great for me. I can't wait until the listing when it's at 35 cents to see what happens there, and also about the actual use with it as well, to see that portion of it, and what happens, with the aftermath, right after launch, and days, months, years after that. So guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out my links in the description, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.